When your job falls apart, I'm going to tell you how to rebuild your confidence, how to build back up. Why am I talking about that? And why do I feel qualified to talk about that? So I've lost 4 jobs due to layoffs. I've had contracts abruptly end on me. The past 10 years has been crazy when it comes to tech, so many highs and lows. And I've really learned a lot in the process. And I've learned how much ego I put into my jobs, into my position, into my titles, and how at times that I felt like I was on a mountaintop. And then when that was stripped away, I felt like I was, in the lowest valley. But the reality was I was still me. So I had to realize, okay, there's some things that I can do to make sure that I keep my confidence as a man, that I keep my self-worth and self-value, and it's not tied to a position or to a title or to money. Of course, those things can be important, but those things shouldn't be the end all be all. So if you're struggling with that, and if you have struggled with that, I'm going to talk about it as well. And so really how to fix that or how to change that. Number one, own something or aspire to own something. And I say this it doesn't just mean own like a house or whatever. Yes, that's great. For me, it was owning a dog. It was getting a dog because I realized, I am not the most important thing. There is something else in my life that I have responsibilities for now. There's something in my life that looks at me and it didn't even care about if I had a good day, bad day, laid off, or made $1 million. It was just like, hey, I just want to play. I just want to be next to you. I just want to snuggle. Like, that's it. And so when I say own something, it's finding something outside of just work that you can put effort and that you can put energy into. Right now, like my thing and me and my wife's thing right now is we own some land, and I love doing that because that's a whole different persona that I have. That just isn't Ricky in tech. That's like, I call him Country Rick, right? I get out there on the land. I do a lot of manually hand intensive labor stuff, and I love doing that. And it's like kind of a different persona that I have. Whatever it is, guys, like we like ownership of something because we like responsibility. And I think that's kind of one of the reasons why if we lose a job or we lose a title, it's like, man, we had this responsibility and now we don't. We're trying to find something. That's why I say own something. And it doesn't have to be anything grandiose, but something that allows you to put effort and emphasis on something else aside from the job. Number two, master your health. I think this is so important. So probably a few months ago, work was getting crazy stressful. I gave my dad a call and I was like, man, work is getting crazy stressful. Like I wasn't sleeping well and everything. And the one thing that he said, he was like, hey man, he's like, at the time I was 33. He's like, you're 33 years old. He's like, you don't want to die of a heart attack or anything at this age. He's like, so make sure that you are, basically mastering your health, mastering your mental health, right? So I've always been somebody who likes to be in the gym, likes to work out, but I've always in the past been someone who I would say neglects mental health some because I'm just like a go, grind it out person. And what this means is when I say master your health, that's mental health, that's physical health. Work in a job can push us to a level where we feel like we have lost ourselves. And so what you end up seeing is a lot of out of shape, overweight people and a lot of out of shape and overweight men as time goes on. And it's like, yeah, they might make money and have these big careers, but you're looking at them and you're like, yeah, but I would never trade my health for you because you just seem so miserable. And it's got to be so hard from a physical and feeling standpoint to get up and get moving and no idea how you have the energy. So the other thing is, even if your career is going well, still make sure that you're mastering your health. Set aside time to go work out. Set aside time for your mental health. Set aside time to be very, very intentional about what you're doing and how present you are. So again, if your life and if your career feels like you're falling apart and you feel like you're so identified with it, do something else for your health that is going to far outlast your career. Number three, chase peace. This is so important. And this is kind of like a relationship too, right? Like back in the day when I was chasing women and everything, I wasn't chasing peace at all. I was chasing a thrill. I was chasing a high. I'd be in situationships, a few at the same time, and nothing would be peaceful. And then when I got in a relationship with Carly, and as I grew and as I really learned about myself and I chose to grow, I was like, ooh, peace is different. This is so nice. And because there's so much peace in the relationship, what I realized was, not that I don't have to work hard at work or anything. I'm like, there's another part of me that can be like really dove into and I can really grow in that area. And what that did was like that actually separated the work me from the at-home me to the now husband me. And so the whole message and the whole thing about this video is like really separating yourself into different silos of you so that you can dive into, so that it's not so much emphasis if something in work and career is lacking that you've been so tied into, because you're so tied into it now, you're tied into some other things that you're able to now put more time, effort, and attention into, right? So chase peace. Peace is going to be the one thing that I think end of the day, I think that we we all chase. I think people chase money in an effort to think that money is going to provide them peace. It's like, no, what you want is you want a peaceful life. Yeah, you want to work hard. Yeah, you want to earn money. Yeah, you want to do some things. Yeah, like, you want to have the title. You want to, buy the things every now and again. But at the end of the day, if it doesn't bring you peace, it's not worth it. So chase peace. And peace to you might look very different from peace to me. And at the end of the day, as a grown man, whatever you decide that peace is, make sure that you are actually chasing that. I think that's vitally important. And number 4, and this kind of wraps everything up, diversify your identity. This is extremely important because if you are so one-dimensional, you are so work one-dimensional, what you're doing is you're giving an entity an opportunity to make you crash and burn just by one phone call. I've seen it happen in my life. Like I said, I've gotten laid off 4 times, and that means if things were going well, I got a phone call. Hey, the company, something, happened over here, blah, blah, blah. We have to make mass layoffs. The industry's going in a different direction. We're cutting down this sector. And so an area where I thought that I was growing, in an area where I was like, oh, these are going to be my coworkers for a decent amount of time. An area where I thought that, oh, I have some career trajectory. It just crashed down. And it was because I didn't diversify my identity. I wasn't able to go away from that call and look at other things and be like, okay, let me dive into some other things while I go and try to find a career. Like, I went through very deep areas of like depression because I just was so identified with that one thing. Now, what I really focus on, I'm like, oh, I want to be a great husband. Like, I want to be a great homeowner with my wife. I want to be able to be a great land manager with them out there. Yeah, I want to be a great, employee and someone who manages other people. And I also want to be a great YouTuber and content creator. There's so many other things that I now can look at from an identity standpoint and say, oh, but if something doesn't work well over here, I can focus on some other things and make sure those continue to grow and still feel good about myself. At the end of the day, as men, we want to be able to feel good about ourselves. We want to be able to look at ourselves in the mirror at the end of every single day and say, man, we did something, we progressed, and we find ourselves valuable. And I think we find ourselves valuable when we have things that we can progress into. And again, if a job has crashed and burned on you, or it's not meeting expectations, what you can realize is, hey, you're not able to progress in that area anymore. And so if you don't have an area to progress in, then it messes with you. So again, number 1, own something. Have something outside of you that you just enjoy doing, owning, having responsibility of, because it takes your mind just off of you and so internal and puts it on something else. Number 2, master your health, your mental health, your physical health. Put time into that. That's going to give you so many different goals and so much more fun, and you're just going to feel better, look better, think better, all that. And number 3, chase peace. Peace is so important. Again, I think that's the basis of everything. And number 4, I think I said number 4 already, but that was number 3. Number 4, diversify your identity. You are multifaceted. Dive into whatever those multifaceted things are in your life and make sure that those are increasingly as abundant as what you deem your career is. So guys, I hope that this message helped. Again, when your job falls apart, this is how you rebuild. It's simply said, but sometimes it can be hard in practice. But what's hard in practice over time becomes easier in practicality. I hope I said that right. But regardless, see you in the next video. Hope this helped. See you. Peace.